We're not really haters like that. You know what I mean?
Nah, and that's probably one of the biggest faults on us. We're just so forgiving and loving, and I wouldn't turn it back, but I wish that we had a couple more assholes so we could have turned this around a little bit different.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
But it is what it is. Great discussion. Shout out to Michael Smith for going ahead, and I thought he was from a church at first the way he was talking, but I have no idea, man. But salute to him. Yeah.
You probably maybe hit us up after, he hears this on the podcast. Whatnot. But speaking of some of the things that go on allegedly going, I should say, behind closed doors with hip hop execs, Oprah Winfrey, SamAnt, is reportedly planning to help tell her part or somebody's part in a new documentary aimed at Russel Simmons being exposed. Now, according to the report from the Los Angeles Times last week, Oprah is serving as an executive producer for a new documentary focusing on brilliant music executive who grapples with whether or not to take her story of being sexually assaulted public. Now, the publication reports that the person of focus in this film is Drew Dixon. Drew Dixon pretty much worked with Russel Simmons at a record company back in the day, and she pretty much claims that Russel Simmons raped her in a Manhattan apartment in 1995. Now, this film will be released 2020 on Sundance Films. It'll be live on Apple TV as well, and it's described as an examination of race, gender, class, intersectional, and the toll assault on victims and society at large. Oprah will be producing this film. Now, in addition to this, SamAnt, 17 women have pretty much accused Russel Simmons, of varying degrees of sexual misconduct over the years. Oprah is helping with this film, SamAnt. What do you think about this film due to air February 2020?
I don't condone any of this.
Yeah.
What I mean by any of this is men taking advantage of women, sexual assault, any of that. I don't condone that. But Oprah's turning Sophia on us, on these black brothers. Ain't she in 2020? All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my uncles. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my brothers. Girls ain't safe in my family, and men. She's gone there with us. It feels real color purplish, and it's and I'm not saying that if in fact all of this is true, it's not justified. But why don't we get proper evidence and 100% backing to things before we go ahead and begin staring narratives? You have a huge bankroll. You are going to be able to put out a grand production pretty much on alleged accusations.
Russel Simmons did deny it.
And staring, of course he did.
Right.
And staring narratives. I think it's a very divisive and very dangerous tool. I think somebody in Oprah Winfrey's on her status, on her behalf, she would know better than this. But we've heard from a lot of horses' mouths that she's done things like this. And it kind of pains you because of the success that she's gotten being a black woman and things like that, and the donations and the charitable things that she's done out here for people. How can you talk against the things that she's given? But certain moves that just make you go, damn, Sophia, what you doing, man?
And my thing is as well, it's like not the fact that she should put him on blast. Like, again, if it happened, do your thing. We don't condone none of that sexual assault stuff, not like that. But the fact that we don't really have no evidence to really look at, it's kind of the same thing with the Michael Jackson documentary, how she brought, the people on the show. Mm-hmm. I think it's Safe Chuck and Roebuck, whatever the fuck their names was. You know what I'm saying? She brought them on and kind of helped them put their story, made it mainstream. And being who Oprah is, like when she says stuff, it rings bells. Tens of millions of people are now going to see this. And now you're pretty much backing it. So now you're pretty much using your platform to smear Russel Simmons' name in a way, that, what no other person can do. You know what I mean? You don't see nobody like Dan Rather or nobody like that, going at it. It's sad because it's our own, kinfolk. You know what I mean?
To take it that level, you don't see a Dan Rather going in on Weinstein or another dude or another dude, whoever's out there, them nasty motherfuckers out there doing whatever they're doing. You don't see what is that, surviving Harvey Weinstein or this or that. But we seem to want to put on these grand productions. And that's not, and I want to have this conversation for the black women listeners on our podcast. This isn't to disrespect any black woman just because R. Kelly's doing it or Bill Cosby or even who we got up there now, Russel Simmons. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to disrespect black women by saying that, okay, why are you doing these things? Why are you doing these things? But we got to keep it 100 saying that sometimes the male perspective isn't properly represented, and we get railroaded a lot. Not to say that a lot of the times you guys don't get disrespected too, because you do,
right?
But a lot of the times we get railroaded, and we have to have proper conversation and context to that too. So by no means are we trying to disrespect. I know it's coming. Trust me,
I don't think nobody's going to take it like that. It just, it's just a tough situation because again, I want to make this clear. If this indeed happened, do what you got to do. Use your media outlet, you know what I mean, to do it. But if we don't really know, if it's just allegations, and Russel Simmons saying, nah, look, I didn't do this. I mean, he did admit that he was a sex addict, I guess, but that don't got nothing to do with that though. Just because somebody admits that they're a sex addict don't mean they will sexually assault you. At all. A lot of people put that together. So I don't like it. I got to be honest with you. I don't like it. But again, throughout history, just because people were your skin folk, you couldn't count on them to be your kinfolk, especially in tough situations like this. You would think, oh, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? They share the same struggle, the same plight, boom, boom, boom. They're going to rock out with me. And ain't always the case.
And wild consensual orgies 20 years ago should not equate to sexual assault 20 years later. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that a lot of that went down. And just because fluid was exchanged don't mean that somebody sexually assaulted.
It's like Cuba. Like it just is weird how once one thing happens, now everybody
and they mama
gonna come out. Now I know what the person, the novice is gonna say, or the people contrary, they're gonna say, well, people come out now because they got the courage now. You know what I mean? He did this to all these people, so they seen one person come out, they came out. It could be that, or it could be it's people that this person may have had some type of sexual encounter with. And they see dollar signs and it's a money grab. It could also be that too.
Facts. A lot of the time it's that too.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. It's a harsh world we live in, but we got to call it how we see it, man. And when we see it, it is what it is.
I think Russell should probably try to sit down with somebody after this airs and explain his story with the major media outlet, or you think the silence is the best policy?
He's one of them dudes. He's high on his meditation. He's high on the positivity, like the vegan and things like that. I don't know if he's going to come out and get offensive with this and claim his innocence. I don't know if he'll have people in his corner to come out and maybe talk on his behalf and kind of denounce it. Kamora and his ex-wife and people like that. I don't know.
Right.
But it's not going to look good when it's come out because we've seen the pitchforks and we've seen them lighting them sticks before, and they about to light them for Russel Simmons.
It's going to be on Apple TV. It's going to be at the Sundance film. So
it's coming. It's on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be everywhere as soon as it do.
And also the person's name who was mentioned is L.A. Reid. She's pretty much saying that Dixon says she left Def Jam only to be harassed by L.A. Reid at another major record label. This is according to XXL's, article that they have on this. Crazy.
Pitchforks and them fire sticks is coming.
Man.
Sophia's on a rampage.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you're tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, the most dangerous podcast out there right now. I want to jump over to this next story, Sam. Man, I know this one's going to be a great one to end the show off today. Well, the Game sat down on Power 106 FM out there in LA. Shout out to them with Nick Cannon. And he talked about an encounter that he had with the great Suge Knight. Let's play this clip and talk about this.
Okay, man.
West Coast hip hop. Your story's being told as a boss.
Yeah, I've been face to face with Suge with guns drawn.
Right.
On both sides.
Right.
I done been like Suge rode up on me one time at the Vibe after the Vibe Awards after party with like 60 gangsters, and he wanted to press for something I said in my song about him, which I said it because I'm from Compton. I'm really from Compton.
Right.
And I felt like Death Row and Suge and that whole era took so many lives that didn't get mentioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the city. And a couple of those was friends and big homies. And so I said a few things about Suge that he didn't like, and they rode up on me. But at that time, I was 25, bald head with like 7X khakis on, and I wasn't having no type of back down. And I drew my gun on all of them. And I held my own. And from that day forward, it was nothing but respect with Suge. I throw jabs sometimes, mainly because I can, and everybody know that, I'm an asshole sometimes. So that's what I do. But I talk to Suge from the inside. Yeah. He does have a different perspective on life, and he should have a different perspective on life, because where else do you go here? I mean, go from here with, being, how you used to be. Like, shit, it's got to be 50, what I'm saying, 50 plus. Yeah. And so, man, but at the end of the day, man, we can't take away what he did give. You know what I'm saying? The pop.
So yeah, you know, he goes in to talk more about some of the positive things that Suge Knight, you know, did. If you want to see that full interview, you want to go